The Germans haven't really been selling us cars so much for a while now, as they have been selling us lifestyles. And that's partially why they're so successful. What badges do we all think of when talking about luxury cars? Yes, perhaps that's a Maybach, but I'm talking about us mortals. BMW will surely come across your mind. The profile of the X4 shows the look of a true crossover, a sedan that gained size and height. But what about practicality? The X6 also has a sloping roof like this, and the X6 is bigger than the X4, so you'd think that there wouldn't be enough space in the back for your head. But I'm happy to say that there's quite plenty if you're of average height. But then it got me thinking, perhaps they saved on space in the trunk, which is, of course, motorized. But no, good news here as well, because, well, we put 3 cases of equipment in there, and there's really no problem. You'd have more space as well. There's lots of space in the boot, as well as various additions that allow you to secure luggage from sliding all over the place in the corners. The X4 is quite imposing at the back as well as the front. At night, the LED lights give it elegance. For those of you that are more attentive in watching these videos, you might have noticed that this car has a petrol engine underneath, not like the usual diesel. But of course, this is the near future, because we're moving from diesels back to petrol engines. Now, this is a 4-cylinder, 2-liter petrol engine with 180 kilowatts. And this space over here is for its bigger, even more fun brothers. The 2-liter petrol engine sports 180 kilowatts, which means 6.4 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Inside the X4 is definitely a BMW. Elegant, functional, somewhat restrained, and certainly lovely. The driver should look at the road while driving, but the passenger can happily check the weather report and news on the screen. I want to talk about the niceness of the upholstery. Not only is the light leather comfy, BMW added red stitching to make things interesting. Side support, leg support, heating, this, that. The seats in the X4 are very, very comfortable, and I'd be happy driving the car over long distances. The rear passengers will be fine as well with their own air vents. But I'm not going to leave all the fun to the passengers, right? If you're behind the wheel of this car, you'll be smiling. Not just because of the engine, but also the simple joy of driving it. Let's go back to the future for a moment here, when I was talking about how diesel engines were being sort of slowly phased out now. At least us Europeans, we've kind of forgotten about petrols a bit already and how they were, because we want to be all economical. And the petrol engine, well, yeah, it has its advantages. It's a little quieter, its power delivery is smoother. It does drink more petrol though. For example, this twin turbo 2-liter petrol engine, right now it has 9 liters per 100 kilometers, which for us is quite a lot, but of course you'll be able to get this number down with this engine if you drive more economically. Of course, the torque with a diesel is low in the RPM range, whereas with a petrol engine you have to give it more revs to get that torque and power. But of course, today the technological advancements in both diesel and petrol engines have been so huge that it's more a choice of what you really want. Do you want a more sporty petrol engine with more consumption, or do you want a, well, more economical diesel engine? It's all up to you, really. But just remember that, well, in the future, before electric cars, diesel engines probably won't be very welcome anymore. Blah blah blah. The main thing is, this car is awesome to drive, no matter what engine you pick. Oh yeah, I always forget this. I would recommend the sporty M steering wheel, which is an optional extra, as it's really nice and comfortable to use. The BMW X4 is practical, comfy and lovely to drive, despite the stiffer M suspension, which was on the test model. All you have to ask yourself is, this one or the bigger X6, which I had also tested? The base model can be yours for just under 52,000 euros, while the X4 with the most powerful petrol engine as well as practically all optional extras costs 97,000 euros.